In this video we will see how we can add new input fields to ShipWeight for the items. So the input fields are often called codes in ShipWeight. And now I have ShipWeight open, I have a project, and if I select, for example, my weight group H13 and open that weight group in the item dialog, you will see that now I have the standard fields in ShipWeight. And these are weight group, item number, description, user and date, the quantity fields, weight fields, CG fields and extension fields. However, for most of you this will not be enough fields. You want to have more fields or more codes added to ShipWeight for additional input. And in this video we will see how you can add these fields or add new codes, as we call it in ShipWeight. To do that, the first thing you have to do is to open up the code definition dialog. And to do that, you go to the view menu in the item dialog and select code definition. Now this opens up a dialog that allows you to define your own fields in ShipWeight. And each line in the field here, each line in the area to the right here will describe one added field or one custom code in ShipWeight. So let's try to start with adding just a very simple type of field, a comment field. So I do that by clicking into this first empty line here, and in the drop list I'm selecting from C01 to C99 to select the ID for my new custom code. And since it goes from C01 to C99, this means that you can add up to 99 custom fields in ShipWeight. So the first one will be C01, and that's just the ID of the field. And then for the title I will type in comment. Use the tab key to go to the next field here, which is description. And for description I'm just going to type in general remark. This description field is just for my own sort of info about what this field really is. Then the field size is the next grid here, and this is if I want to limit the number of input by the user. So in this case I want to limit it to maximum 50 characters. So if the user tries to enter in more than 50 characters for the comment, he's going to be stopped. Then calculate we will not use in this case. Tab field, that means really alignment, and since this is a text field I'm going to select left. Formatting, it's a string field again, so no formatting here. And then comes the last one, and that's the field type. And this is quite important because this tells what type of field we are adding to ShipWeight. And in this case it's going to be an edit box, which means it will be just a normal field where the user can input whatever he wants. To sort of enter in this new line, I go to the next line, and I can now to the left here I can see that I have a new field defined, my comment field. If I close this dialog, I will see that in my item view I now have a new field called comment, and it's an edit box, so it means that the user can type in whatever he wants. Now the position of the field and the length, the width of the field, that's something in item setting that we can decide whether we want this field to be placed in last here or if we want to have it somewhere else in the dialog. That's set in the item setting, but now we're just concentrating on adding some more fields. So that's the first field. Let's try to add 2-3 more fields. So to add more fields, I'm going to go again to the view menu and select code definition to bring up the same dialog. And now I go to the second row here to enter in my second field, and this time I want to do a maturity field. So I'm typing in maturity as my title, and if I skip field size, the default will be set to 20. That's fine here, so I'm going to just skip it. Skipping calculate. Again, I click the left L to get the left alignment and skip formatting. And now when I get to field type, this time I'm going to select a list box. And this means that the field will now be a drop list, so the user has to select from certain predefined values. So I select list box and then go to the next line. And now to the left here you'll see that I now have my two new fields, comment and maturity. And the maturity is defined to be list box, and the next thing I need to do is to define which selections to be available for the user in that drop list. And to do that I will select CO2 in the hierarchy to the left here. You can see that now I am selected the star, and the star, when that's selected, that means I'm at the top of this tree, and in the window to the right you will then see lines for the items below. So if I select maturity in this tree here, then maturity is on the top of the tree selected, and the area to the right will show the items below maturity. And right now there's no items below maturity, but this is the place where we define in a drop list, we define the selection for the user. So right now I'm going to go to code ID, and I'm going to give the first selection for the user, which should be A, and the description, this will be as built. That's going to be the code for the first maturity. And then I want to do C, calculated, and then E for estimated. Now these are my three selections for the user as far as maturity. So again, now to the left here we can see that now below maturity we have some child nodes, as built, calculated and estimated, and these are the selections for the user. Now we'll see how that works in the item dialog in a minute, but first we'll just add a couple of more codes. So to add the new codes I go back to the star to get my main codes in the window to the right, and I go and pick C3 and I want to do another code. So in this code I'm going to do a block code, so block description, and now when I use the tab key to go all the way to the right, I'm going to select a combo box. Now the combo box, as you will see soon, is a mixture of edit box and list box. This means that the user will have the drop list to select from, but he can also type in something that is not part of the drop list, while as in the list box the user is forced to select from the selection in the drop list. So I'm going to make this a combo box, go to the line below here, so I get the block to the left, and then I'm selecting block here, and I'm going to give in some codes, B1 which is block 1, and B2 which is block 2, and now I'm going to do subblocks as well. So to do subblocks, then I go to the window to the left here and select B1, and then I can, for example, define B1.1 and B1.2, and then I can select block 2 here and go and do B2.1, and be 2.2. Now to the left you can see that we're actually building up a hierarchy, so we have blocks and subblocks within the same code. I'm still only using up one of my 99 codes here, but below or underneath each of these codes I can define as many subcodes as I want to, but still only using up one of the 99. Okay, let's do one more field before we take a look at the result in the item view. I'm going to go back up to the star here, and this time I'm going to do a calculated code. So I'm selecting CO4 and going to the title here and I'm going to call it v.mom, and so in the description I'll just type in that this is the vertical moment, and this is a field that I want to be calculated based upon other fields, so I'm going to give in a formula in this calculate column here, and the formula should be bracket weight bracket and then an asterisk to multiply and bracket and VCG and end brackets. Now these calculation formulas are case sensitive and they follow a certain syntax, and to know this syntax you can hit F1 to bring up the help file and go into the code definition dialog and select calculated code, and there you will find the options that you can use in this calculated field and some examples of how to set calculations. Alright, so this is a number, so here I want to have an alignment to the right, and for formatting I want to have select 0 decimals, and for the field type I will now select read only because I don't want anyone to be able to change the number by themselves here. So again I go to the last line just to enter it in, and now I have 4 custom codes defined, and when I close this dialog I will see all of these codes now added to the end here. Again, in item setting we will see how we can take these codes and move them into different positions of the view, and how to generalize and customize this view and add colors and so forth. But for now we have just added some codes and we can test them. We can in the comment I can write in whatever. In the maturity I have a drop list and I'm forced to pick one of these predefined values here, as built, calculated or estimated. In the block code I do have my selections, but I'm also free to enter in something not in the drop list, for example B3. And my vertical moment is going to be calculated based upon the weight multiplied by the VCG, and in this case it's added after the actual item has been added, so I have to push this exclamation mark in the toolbar just to recalculate and update any calculated code. So now I have my vertical moment calculated, and we can see that that's the weight times the VCG, and with 0 decimals since I specified that as the property. So that's how to add 4 simple codes. In the later session we will see how we can add more advanced codes, for example where something is calculated based upon selection of another code, and how we can use unit weights to connect to a certain material code, for example, and more advanced options. But for now this is just the simple types, and that's it for this session.